There it is. I was starting to wonder if it's ever going to go live. Hello, everybody. It is good to have you on a beautiful, sunshiny afternoon. It was cloudy. Wind was blowing a million miles an hour just a little while ago. The wind has calmed down. The sun has popped out. The clouds have dispersed, and it's a beautiful day. In fact, it's pushing 80 degrees here in northern Kentucky. So a little unusual for November. And it is election day. I've done my civic duty. You can't see it. I've got my sticker on me where I went and voted earlier today. I'm so glad that's over. I got a couple of friends in the background. There they are. There's Queen
All,
Ruby and
all three
Wayne
of
the
us.
Wood Wizard and Todd. And we're
Hey,
just glad to have all you guys here today. And so it's going to be a fun time. Fun time. Um, Let me switch back over here and come into this camera. And what we've got here on the lay, this is a piece of walnut. I know it doesn't hardly look like walnut, but that's what it is. Um, this is the first of a set of commission bowls that I was asked to do. A lady that runs one of the two stores I'm in asked for 8 salad bowls for her Thanksgiving table. So that's what we're going to work on today. Now, I just discovered right here. There's a couple of bug holes here, which those don't bother me too much, but there's a big void on the face here that may get in our way. But we're going to see what we can do. I've got some leeway in the size, so we're going to get started on that. And as I'm going, or as I get going, one of these folks, and I think I know who it'll be, is going to read out who all is in the chat with us today. So with that, have at it, guys.
here we go then. We didn't even take a vote this week. I'm going to volunteer.
Boy, I'm glad
Okay.
I'm sitting down.
Okay, first in we've got Ruby. And, we Val's in as well. Good evening, Val. Michael McEwen is in. Malcolm Douglas. This is going to take a bit of time to go down. Dale's in, Old Man River. I'm still going down, don't worry about it. Roger Wallum. Mike Evans. AMGI Woodworks.
That's Leo.
Leo, thank you. Ruby. Todd at Glen Cove. Red Gulliver. Al's in. Evening, Al. I'm still going down. Clinton Wood Dancers. Vinnie Charlton. Raymond Wise. I'm still going down. Lucy's in. Evening, Lucy.
Mike, you?
I'm getting there, Ruby. I'm getting there. I'm still hanged up about halfway up at the moment. It's just jumped again. Birds Bulls. Andy the Valley Wood Turner. Tim Ponder. And that's me down at the bottom now. Who did I miss? Mike you? Is that Mike you from Ilminster?
And Clint at Wood Dancers?
I think I said Clint. I think. If I have missed anyone, I do apologize. Put another comment in and I will mention you.
Spun by Green Jeans?
Oh, I never saw that one. Unless I'm way behind. Yeah, Bert's Bulls, I said.
Oh.
Welcome along, everybody.
And Dale's saying it's 75 where he is.
Well, we're having about the same weather up here. Although on the weekend I did have heavy frost to scrape off the windshield of my van each morning.
All right. Roger's in as well, Roger Kent. can't remember if I mentioned him or not, but he's certainly here.
Well, that's good. He's welcome.
And Jennifer's here as well. Good evening, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
When I find the link, I'll give you a countdown to Harrogate.
Not long. I'm kind of excited to get to the sanding stage. I want to see if face shield all the way down on my chin. I want to see if I took care of the strangeness when the vac or the dust collector comes on. I think I did, but we'll see.
I think it's 11 days from today, Wayne.
No, it's 9 days and 13 hours.
Isn't it starting on the 16th?
15th. Starts on the Friday.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Okay, I'm not sure what that is.
Ronald Todd's come in. I don't know if anybody mentioned him.
Did we get Fred Gilliver?
Yeah, we got Fred. I mentioned him earlier on.
Good. We don't want to leave anyone out, especially not on purpose. Except maybe that guy named, what's his name? Oh, Doug. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to take that whole corner out. That was totally undermined. There we go.
I'm very well, Jennifer. How are you? If these are going to be used, I'm just saying here, Doug, if these are going to be used for salad bowls, you're not really wanting to have a lot of voids in them, are you?
No, you're exactly right.
Not wanting much dressing.
Yeah, either that or it's going to be a dry salad.
Well, the other thing is, when I was doing back in the day when I was doing shows, a food inspector came by and he said that if I sold any with cracks, splits, or voids like that for food, he'd close me down because they tend to collect bacteria and they're dangerous, basically.
Except for one issue. Wood is naturally antimicrobial.
Well, a lot of them are, Doug. I will agree with you there. They are. A lot of woods are antibacterial, which is why they're okay to use for the likes of chopping boards, the likes of butcher blocks, and things like this. And for those of you who want to go and have a look, there was a very big study done by the University of Wisconsin in 1996, I think it was, looking at the benefits of wood over plastic for the use of chopping boards and things like this.
Well, the problem with cracks or voids is that they trap foods in them, and that's where the infection can come from.
Yeah, this one is not going to be used for a salad bowl. I've already determined that. It's the void here is
too big.
That's all void. Yes, the bowl would be too small. Let's see. Right now it's sitting at 8.5, and if I take that out, it's going to be down probably 6-ish, maybe a little smaller. So this is not going to work for my set, but it's a start. I had to start somewhere.
I think one of the things that they did in the study was that they did a comparison with plastics and woods, and basically what they did was they put bacteria on a whole load of different types of woods and different types of plastics as well. And within 24 hours, with a lot of the woods, the bacteria had actually died, and with a lot of the plastics, the bacteria had grown.
Yes.
And that was,
if I remember right, in their conclusion, they were shocked They really thought the plastic would be better, but as it turned out, it was safer to have the wood cutting boards.
Yeah, because around about that time, I was doing quite a lot of food hygiene, health and safety stuff training with the staff that we had, and also around about that time, a lot of the butchers were getting rid of their wooden chopping blocks, which had had for years and years and years, and
Right.
starting to move to plastics. Then into the 2000s, they started going back to wood again.
Yep. And Heather has joined us as well from
Hey, you,
Spirit
Heather.
Wood and Stone Bone.
Evening, Heather.
Hey, if you guys haven't been watching Heather, hadn't been following her, you need to. She does some terrific work, some very artistic stuff, and just interesting work.
I
All right,
agree.
getting somewhere now. This surface here, you can't see it; it's too washed out. But there's some bug trails going across the grain here. And that's what I'm kind of working my way, trying to get under it.
I don't know if Haley's away yet, but she was certainly travelling up to Scotland before Harrogate. Are you there yet, Haley, or are you still at home? And Frederick Day is here. And he's been manning the market stall today. How did it go, Frederick?
Just another pass or two. We should be past all of this.
If you're not
This,
careful, though, Doug, you'll have that thing down to that 6-inch size pretty soon.
well, yeah, we very well may. And a
And
lot of times, go ahead, go ahead.
Heather's working on a commissioned lighthouse at the moment.
Ah,
And Rich
okay.
has just come in as well. Rich Bulldog's just come in.
Hey,
Hi, Rick.
Rich.
Lighthouses are addictive. At SWAT,
They are.
I watched the demo that Rita Duxbury did on
Mm-hmm.
lighthouses. Now everything I look at, I see it, put it on the lathe, it looks like a lighthouse.
There you go.
Well, last week I finished up an order of 15 of them,
Mm,
and that was a lot of work.
I bet.
And Haley is in Scotland at the moment. She's been to Killen today and around Loch Tay, and she's having a lovely time.
It's beautiful country over there. It really is.
Ronald Doug is using walnut, a bit of wormy walnut, we've got to say.
Absolutely. And spalted.
And Ray is saying the two artists had an art contest. It ended in a draw.
Oh, my life. Here we go. We've started.
We're a little early for this, aren't we?
Yeah,
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 I'm
exactly.
just saying we've started and Zed isn't here.
Some of y'all may remember Zed did a premiere a couple weeks ago where he went through the bottom. And he said what he might do would be put that out in a poll and see what people thought. And what his poll was how would we try to fix it and how? And I gave my idea. Lo and behold, I won the poll. More people agreed with what I said. And so that piece is on its way to me at this moment.
Excellent.
I'm kind of
Frederick,
excited.
Yeah, and
Frederick
this
has answered me by saying, not bad at all. This is about the market stall. He met loads of interesting people and sold a couple items, and he loved the atmosphere and the people. And
great.
Lucy has said, has anyone seen anything of Zed? No, he has got a premiere tonight. I know that.
Oh, Todd says he had jury duty last week.
All right. So Zed has a premiere tonight at 11. For those of you in the UK, that's 11 p.m. Sorry.
So that means 6 p.m. our time.
Yes, that's his normal time. By the way, how is my sound right now?
Sounds good.
Yep,
Okay,
sounds good. Yeah.
I've got the dust collector running, so
Well, it's almost like you're in a tin can.
well, I am. My shield is down.
And Karsten Peterson has joined us, as
Hey,
well as
Carl.
Johnny Foster. Hello,
Hey, John.
Karsten, Johnny. For those who just joined us, this is a piece of walnut, wormy walnut that Doug is turning.
It was supposed to be a commission salad bowl, but it's got too many problems with the blank itself. So this one is just going to be a nice bowl. I've still got plenty of walnut to make my salad bowls with. But at least I can now tell the lady that I have started. Yes, worm, 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 worm. I've gotten most of them off, but the big ones are still here. And I may clean them out yet.
Now, out of curiosity, what sort of a lip do you like to put on the top of your salad bowls?
It'll just be the wall coming straight up. I'll probably slant it in, but it'll be a thin wall, um, just beveled toward the inside of the bowl.
Oh, Lucy says she won't be able to make it up to Harrogate. They had to buy a new fridge last night. Sorry to hear that, Lucy. And Raymond said that in the UK, you can skip jury duty if you're over 71.
Here in the U.S., it seems to be only the older generation that are interested in the jury duty.
That's about the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here in Canada.
I served jury duty one time, and I really enjoyed myself actually. But I was on one major case, and the case where, as a jury, we decided the kid had a seizure and passed out. He was suing his school, saying that they caused him to have they caused him to pass out. It just wasn't true. So
I
it
don't
was
think so.
interesting. It
Right,
was
so
interesting.
I've just put the link in there for Zed's premiere tonight or
That's
this
good.
afternoon,
Good deal.
wherever you are.
And Lucy, just like Todd says, my fridge is about 34 years old and still going. The newer ones are apparently built with a planned lifespan of 10 to 15 years max. It's called planned obsolescence.
Yep, yeah, built-in obsolescence that has been going on for decades, especially with car parts.
Yeah, I was gonna say cars seem to be the worst for it, but everything is that way anymore. Oh, I know why I took that off.
Yeah, Lucy has said things aren't built to last anymore,
No,
unless you're like me and Ruby.
And we're going to last forever, aren't we, Wayne?
Oh, definitely.
they say there is no expiration on pickles, right?
That's right.
I'll remember that, Doug.
I've heard somebody say that Wayne was pickling himself on a regular basis.
Yeah.
No, Fred
Does-
Day is asking if anyone can help him out. He likes making the crank handle salt pepper grinders made by Craft Supplies, and the problem is there are none left in the UK. He tried buying from the US, but the postage is pretty high.
I bet.
Yeah, VAT and import duty as well. Do Procraft not do them, Frederick?
Hey, zombie has turned in here.
Yeah,
Zed.
we weren't talking about you at all, Zed.
I'll bet
Never a
your
word was
ears
mentioned.
are burning.
All right.
Lucy says that when she was at the dump yesterday looking at the items that were being placed there, it shows what a throwaway society we have become.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
mercy. Isn't it crazy? There we go.
For those of you who maybe didn't see it, just a bit earlier in the chat, I did put a link in for Zed's premiere tonight.
Zed says the cannibals never eat rich kids because they're too spoiled. Darn, I was thinking of a rich kid they could start with.
And Fred has answered about my comment about maybe trying ProCraft. He says, yes, they do, but the USA ones are of better quality. No disrespect to ProCraft.
That's interesting to know. And Todd is asking, did you hear about the dyslexic zombie? He only ate brains. Or
Brian,
Brian's.
yeah, dyslexic, Ruby.
Just a little bit. And Raymond Weiss says he's still got his mom's vacuum cleaner and still works with a spray painter, and he's 72. Oh, but you're just a young man, right? And Rex B has joined us. Hi, Rex.
Hi, Rex.
I don't know if y'all can see that or not. That's about where I'm going to go with my rim. Yeah, you can about see that. That goes right through this big section of worm frass right here. So all that will come out. So I'll have a bit of a void. We'll just see how this works. It may disintegrate on me, but we'll see.
And Johnny's having to go back to work.
All right. Glad
See
to
you
have you
later,
along,
Johnny.
Johnny.
Yeah, that's. Oh, yeah. There's certain parts of that are cutting really dusty, aren't they?
Oh, on the weekend, I got to try out the new handles that Record Power are bringing out.
Oh,
Yeah?
is that the Toblerone handles?
Yeah, they're a slight pyramid shape. They've got three sides, but quite rounded. And when you first picked it up, it felt a little strange, but when you went to use them, you'd be amazed how quickly your hand adapted to them.
Now, Carsten is asking, what are people's opinions on the crush grinder kits? Tell you the truth, Carsten, I haven't turned a salt or pepper mill in I don't know how many years, so I'm sorry I can't answer that.
The ones I've turned have all been pretty good.
And Haley is saying that Michael, in answer to you, Ruby, excuse me, Haley is saying Mike Holton tried them on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I was quite pleased with them actually.
And Frederick is saying the sound is a lot better tonight. Doug's turning is not drowning everyone out.
Well, good.
Well, I did make one suggestion to Record Power to make more of a V shape than a U shape on their flute on their bowl gouges, and the new ones coming out tend to have that shape.
All right. Rex is saying he's been dealing a lot with the weather lately. Rex is in Florida. Are there still live wood turnings on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays from the fine people in the UK? Well, I haven't done any lives for quite a few months now, so Wednesdays are out.
Well, Wednesday nights there's still uh, worldwide wood turners are.
Yes, there is still the worldwide wood turners.
Paul Finley is on Monday.
Yeah, Paul Finley is on Monday. He's from Ireland. Obviously, we've got Doug on a Tuesday. I will get back to doing some lives at some point. Fridays, Steve is a bit hit and miss with his Friday lives at the moment.
Yeah,
That's
right
Steve
now
at
he's
SK
still
Crafts.
doing.
Yeah, that's SK Crafts. Yeah,
Yeah, he's still putting in a new floor in his shop.
he is. Malcolm Douglas is doing the answer to the crush grind. He's used dozens of condiment mills with crush grind and never had a problem. Better than others as they do not get corroded by salt.
Yeah. And
Yeah, and for Rex as well, for Rex B, Terry Bray, that's Heckington Arts, is live on a Sunday evening.
mhm.
Which for Rex is he's on at 2 o'clock
And
Sundays. Rex.
Yeah, Clint is asking what happened with Brian. Not too sure, Clint. Can't answer that one.
Brian got hurt. Then he was sick for a while. And during that time, he decided he was going to have his shop rebuilt. And so they just started his shop, I think it was last week.
well, he may be out for a while then.
Yeah, it depends on his builders how diligent they are about getting it done.
Jennifer says he's coming back in the new year. Thanks, Jen.
You never know. I might be back in the new year.
Okay, let's see where we are and how we're doing. Yeah, okay. Oh, we still got a little room in the bottom there, just to make somebody happy. We'll put the caliper on it. Yeah, I've still got about almost half an inch to take out. Not quite, but almost.
How did you know that would make me happy, Doug?
Because you ask about it all the time.
I
My tool
was
rest just a hair and turn it in.
going to do a live a few weeks ago. I got in touch with Jamie to see if he and Jamie and the other guys see if they want to come in near worm. I haven't actually got internet set up in the workshop at the moment because I've got a new provider and I've still got to get set things up in the workshop. So I went out to do that, switched the computer on, and it didn't come on.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
And that's my backup computer. Oh, thanks for all the comments, guys. It's very much appreciated.
Well, I agree with them. I do like your method of presentation.
Yeah, basically, I just turn and don't see anything and just leave it up to the e-worms.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark has joined us. Hi, Mark.
Hi,
Hey, Mark.
And if anyone watches Meet the Woodturner, Mark is going to be center stage on that with Pat Carroll coming up
On
on
Sunday.
Sunday. Yes.
I signed up today.
Rexby has said he's already done the thumbs up. Thank you, Doug, and awesome earworms. Any surprise new Christmas ornaments planned? Again, thank you for doing today.
Well, I will mention something that might interest a few people. I just happened to get a posting from Australia, and they made their Christmas ornaments out of the banksia pods, which grow down there. So they had little bells, Christmas trees, and they looked really good. And I never would have thought of using the banksia pods for those.
No.
So there's an idea for you there.
Can be a bit messy when you turn Banksia. Named after Joseph Banks, by the way, the horticulturist.
Hmm.
And Matt Harbour wants to know what angle your tool is while you're going across the bottom of the bowl and why you do it the way you do.
That depends on what you mean by your question, Matt.
Like, do you use a higher angle for taking you across the bottom? Like for the sides, I would use a 45. Coming across the bottom like that, I would use a 60 degree.
Yeah, I don't use a 60 degree. I've got one. I've got a couple, in fact, when I need them. If I can find my little angle finder here, I will. Oh, there it is. It's over where it's supposed to be.
Darn.
Amazing how that happens. Let's just see. I don't know what my gouge's angle is ground at, but we're about to find out. It is. It's at 50 degrees, and I use that same angle. I've got three half-inch bowl gouges, two spindle gouges, and my detail gouge that are all at the same angle. I do them all the same with a swept back grind, and then as I come in, I go above center and come back down to center. Not a whole lot. I mean, what I'm showing you is exaggerated, but just a little bit, and that seems to do the trick most of the time. Every once in a while, I'll get it too deep for this angle, for this grind to do that, and I'll have to go to my 60 degree, but not very often.
Now,
you started.
Matt says he's not interested in the tool grind, but the angle the tool is presented as it goes across the bottom.
Bevel is floating. So yeah, I'm if I come in, depends on where I am. If I come in here, it's my bevel is floating all the way through, so that I keep it as smooth as possible.
Yeah, see how he brings the handle up so that he's almost going straight across?
Yeah, that's kind of my idea. And it seems like there's some fellow Wayne, somebody that used to do that all the time and show it. And
that was back in the dark ages, so.
There you go. So anyway, yeah, Matt, I know why you're asking. Thank you. Appreciate you doing that.
And Copper Owl says if he goes deep, he goes right to the #1 pro hollower. Zed says that the angle of his gouge changes every time he sharpens it until it gets so far off, then he regrinds it.
Um, I don't have it set up so that I can show you, but there it is. Let me switch it back over here. What I do on, I have the Wolverine grinding system. Well, you can see it. It's right here. This doesn't move um, primarily because I've got the CBN wheel here. If I had a stone wheel, this would have to move from time to time. And this stick is a measuring stick that I would put into the cup, and on the bottom of um, the guard, you can almost see it there. Um, when I was using a stone wheel. Now with this, the guard won't fit, but my stick still fits between the back of the cup and the base of the holder here, the sharpening holder. So that's my measuring. If this gets out, if this gets moved for any reason, I can put it back where it belongs, and that keeps me at the same angle every single time. Because then I also measure from the front of this out. I've got a block over here that I measure against, so it's the same amount out every time. This never moves. This distance never changes. So I'm sharpening it at the same angle every single time. Not real important that I know what that angle is, just that it's consistent every time. That way I come
You're
back to
happy
my
with it.
work. Yeah, I'm happy with it. It works well for me. So when I sharpen and I come back to my work, it's always the same.
That's
No,
basically the way I do it.
Sure.
yeah, I mean, with Zed saying that the angle of his gouge. I mean, when it comes to scrapers, Zed's got to spend about 16 hours resharpening those bulldozer blades.
Well, Haley says that if she's ever able to do a complete finishing cut like you, Wayne, she knows she's made it.
Oh,
Boom.
thank you, Haley. Appreciate it.
I'm just coming back to get this rim beveled in toward the inside of the boat. If it was good and
And
solid, I would have just sanded it, but
yeah,
it's not. So
Todd said that he made a little L-shaped piece of wood with a magnet that defines the length of the arm offset, and the piece sits on the arm. Enchanted Wood Design saying, I use the same jig with plywood as a stick for bull gouge, spindle gouge. For a spindle gouge, he glued 2 corian samples together and added a magnet.
I think I've got, no, that's a tool mark. Thought there was maybe a line in the wood, but it's not. It's a tool mark. Slow it back down. I forgot to do that.
It's got some nice spalting in it.
It really does.
Like once you put a sealer on, that's going to pop. And Mike Dances with Aardvarks has joined us. Good
Hey,
evening.
Mike.
Oh,
That's Mike the mathematician. Or if not the mathematician, certainly the geometry guy.
oh, definitely.
Mathematician. You're doing lovely work, Mike.
I was
That
just
gap is what you started to say, Todd.
oh, I was just informed that with the election today, there was no school, but there's 3:30 band practice, so I have to leave right now to take my daughter to the high school. I had no idea.
Who'd have thought?
Okay,
Yeah,
Todd.
go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you. Thank you for
There,
coming in, Todd.
there are things more important than wood turning.
There's a couple. Yep. You guys have a good day. It was fun.
And you, Todd. And you.
Take care driving with the election going on.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
All
Have
right.
a good day, Bryce.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
And Gerald Avery's just come in. Good evening, Gerald.
Gerald,
Hi,
glad
Jerry.
to have you. All right. Just got some new sandpaper, and lo and behold, the 120 was not available with the Velcro back. It's really surprised me. I think they were just sold out, maybe.
Probably.
And Frederick has said the amount of people who said today that they like spalted wood, it's very popular. It is, Frederick, and has been for years, I've got to say. Certainly I used to get when I used to do fairs and things, the amount of comments I got about spalted wood was untrue.
Would you care to elaborate a little more on that, Wayne?
Well, I mean, you get your nice birds and you get your nice figured grains and things like this. But when people saw a nicely spalted piece of beech or elm ash, whatever, that always tended to get more comments, more positive comments than the other types of wood. I mean, even more than the coloured pieces.
Okay, that changes what I thought you were saying.
I would tend to agree with you, Wayne. I think people are drawn to, there's something about spalted wood. People are just drawn to it in a different way than most any other wood.
Yeah, and enchanted wood designs, it is pretty, but if he leaves it too long, um,
It goes
it gets
funky.
funky. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you are going to spalt your own wood, you've got to get the timing right.
Yes.
You really have.
Or if you get it, you do it right away. You don't wait for it to get more spalting.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, it can go from beautiful to terrible
And
real
rotten.
quick. Yeah, plum rotten. You're exactly right.
And
Or
there's
be like,
too much nice wood around to turn to waste time on crappy wood. Doug, is that a hospital bracelet you're wearing?
no, no. It's one of those silicone things. Um, one of the street shows that I did recently, one of our local churches was giving these out. And I put it on and I just haven't taken it off.
And as Matt points out, you can make your own spalting with a wood burner.
You can, yeah, you can fake it with a wood burner, sure can. Or even if you want to take the time to write it up, you could do use a laser.
And if anyone has an interest about in spalted wood and wants to do more research on spalted wood, just type in your search engine Dr. Spalting,
Mm-hmm.
because you will get all the information you ever need from that website.
Yes, lady who has did her PhD work on spalting. So if you want to know about it, she's the authority. In the different kinds, I never realized until I heard her on I think it was a internet interview that I saw her on. She was talking about different kinds of spalting. Kind of blew my mind that there were so many.
And Matt
Hey,
has said, oh,
go ahead.
no, go on.
Now, Matt has said one of the coolest things he's ever seen was a wood turner who extended some existing spalting into some figures like an eagle and a wolf. I
Mm,
remember, yeah, I remember doing something like that back in the 90s, and it was popular then. Whoops, I'll have to answer the door.
Hi, Maggie.
Ruby's got visitors.
All right.
And Zed's asking you, Doug,
Yes, sir.
Is that your release bracelet from the insane asylum?
That's it. Yeah. I'm just telling everybody. No, no. He really is from a church group. Oh me, I felt like I needed one going to vote today. When
Raymond Weiser said he turned an end grain spalted beach platter very hard going, hard to soft. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from on that one.
Absolutely.
And Tim has said, now Ruby probably won't be able to hear this, Tim. I might wait till she comes back. But Tim has said, by the way, Ruby, have a great time next week over in the UK and be safe.
All right, get the back hose out of the way so you guys can see what this looks like. Let's see, I better clean that off first. That's going to give you some little alcohol just to clean the pores out. Some of the worm frass. Do it on the back as well. Oh man, that's a lovely piece. It's almost a shame it's so eaten up. But I've got some other that will look just as good, if not better. Little conversation starter.
That's sand and sealer for the rest of you. And Frederick has said he has to wear his bracelet to remind him who he is.
Oh, this can's just about shot. I've got another one though.
Yeah, Bert Spools has said that birch spalts very easily. If you put a log on the ground for a few weeks, it'll
Yeah.
start to spalt. It will. I cut a couple of big logs of spalted birch, a good few years ago now, and it was absolutely beautiful, but it was just too far gone.
There. That's not too shabby.
That's looking very nice, Doug.
And that's just sanding sealer. Oh, goodness gracious. And just 45 minutes in. But that's kind of the way it will go. This being spalted, the wood is a bit whiter. Walnut, when it spalts, tends to go light.
Yeah.
So these are the demarcation lines. Let me get them where you can see them. The dark here and here, those are demarcation. But walnut, the wood itself, what we expect to be dark brown, tends to go more like this. Um, some of this may be where the sapwood was quite thick, but even on the backside, where it's definitely the heartwood, it's light, very light. So
Right. Mike from Dances has said back when he drank a lot, he used to put his hotel address on a label on a necklace if he was in a strange city. And then he's gone followed up on that and said, "And the UK has such strange cities." And Mark has said he's looking forward to Harrogate, and he's looking forward to being on Pat Carroll's show on Sunday too, Sunday
yeah,
evening too. I don't have a link for that.
I don't. Well, like I said, I
Well,
just signed up
no,
today, so
yeah, but Mark has got a spanner, so if he can find a link to stick that in, it was on Facebook earlier today. I'm sure Mark still got the link for that.
Well, if you go to patcarroll.com, you can pick up the link there and sign in for it. And my apologies for the interruption, folks. It's just my guard dog doing her job.
yeah.
Mailman had the audacity to come and put something in my mailbox.
That's terrible.
Uh,
While you were away, Ruby, Tim Ponder said, "By the way, Ruby, have a great time next week over in the UK and be safe."
Well, thank you. I'm really getting excited about going.
I bet you are. I would be.
As much as anything, it's the people that I'm going to see.
Right, now, Carsten has said he was using conversation starter, which is sanding sealer, on a piece of very dry chestnut the other week. It ended up looking terrible and he had to sand it off again. Is there something I should have known? There's probably a few things to take into consideration here, Carsten. Was it a wipe-on sand and sealer? Was it a thin down sand and sealer? Was it a spray-on sand and sealer?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first questions I'm going to ask.
All right. Just letting that dry a little bit, and I'll use a little bit of goodness gracious. Use a little bit of rattle can lacquer. I ran into this. I was ordering some, and this was sitting right beside it on the website there, and I thought, for half the price, let's try it out. I like it. It goes on really nice, levels out really nice. So this may be my go-to lacquer as long as I can keep finding it.
Right.
And
There's a couple of things. Lucy was asking Ruby, "Are you coming downtown Pete's while you're over here?" And Ruby's asked, "Is that a bar?" No, Ruby, that's Pete's place.
okay, yes, I am going to be Pete's place and visiting with our gentle giant.
Carsten is saying about the sand and sealer. It was the Hampshire Sheen sealer. I think that's ready to go out of the can. Yeah, I think that's a thin down one. You can still put too much on. If it's the wipe on one, you can still put too much on. I've definitely got to say I prefer the spray on sand and sealers that you get,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
rattle can sand and sealers, because it comes out definitely thin and it just does it just does seal the wood.
Yes, it does do a good job.
And you like to come back and rub it with a paper towel, don't you, Wayne?
Now, what I use, it all depends. Sand and sealer, what you usually do is you put sand and sealer on and you knock the sand and sealer back. So you just take off the top surface. So the wood
Mm-hmm.
is still sealed before you put the wax coat on.
Okay.
Right?
If I'm using Yorkshire grit, I don't tend to knock the sand and sealer back because
Right.
Yorkshire grit or any other abrasive paste that you might use isn't abrasive, and that knocks that top layer back off, and then you
Right.
Mm-hmm.
put your wax on.
Yeah. That's pretty well done. Just to show you, last week's I actually redid the entire top because of that black ring that was around there. It was just too ugly. So I redid it. I had just enough of that same Inferno powder to finish it off, and then it's got a few coats of lacquer on it. There we go. I'll get it in frame there. Everything except the
Pretty
bottom. I
nice.
still got to take the bottom off, and I'll put some lacquer on it as well. But it came
That's,
out. I thought it came out pretty nice.
yeah, it did.
That's that's something in the wood. I'm not sure what it is, but it's something in the wood. Um, Anywho, and that's it. That's a walnut bowl. I'll get a better piece of wood, several better pieces of wood, and make this commission piece. But it'll be the same, almost the same size. This ended up being 7.5. So I'm 7.5 to 8 inches was where I was aiming. This would be fine, except it's got this big void here. Yeah, get it down here where you can see it. Looks like somebody got hungry.
Right.
And then a couple of
Enchanted
wormholes.
Wood Enchanted Wood Designs is said a hard thing is finding sand and sealer anymore.
Yeah.
I love the deft one, but it's rare on the shelves. A real bad part is the wife hates the smell and hard to keep out of the house till dried. I
Yes,
don't know where you are, Enchanted Designs. If you're in the US,
he is.
um, yes, okay. If you're in the US, you can get the Hampshire Sheen sand and sealer from
The walnut log
Walnut Log.
or
Or what's the place in Texas?
um, Wood World of Texas,
Yeah, Wood World of Texas. You can get
right?
the Hampshire Sheen ones from both those places in the US.
right? You can get the deft from World Paint Supply, worldpaintsupply.com. They'll sell it to you, either the loose cans, the quart cans, or the spray. You may have to hunt their website just a touch, but they do carry it. Um, the reason I don't use the deft anymore is because sometimes they run out. They just don't have it, and it's getting pretty expensive. I used to could order it from Ace Hardware. Ace doesn't carry it any longer. Not the deft. And the lacquer sanding sealer is very hard to find, except directly from um, World Paint Supply. And I buy quart cans from them and do my diluted, which I need to mix up some now. My bottle of sanding sealer is,
Well,
yeah,
Matt
it's empty.
was saying the Deft has been bought out and they're now coming back under a new name. And I've asked them what the new name is. It's called Prolux, apparently.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
And that's good
Michael,
to know.
Michael McEwen has said also in the US, Spirocraft is selling Hampshire Sheen products as well.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
If you are in Canada, Rob Summerlin, he sells Hampshire Sheen products.
Yep.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, we can get a number of Hampshire Sheen products. As we can get some of the chestnut products as well. We can't get them all, but we can
We
get
can't get
some.
any of them.
If you're in the
Really?
UK, if you're in the UK and you want to support wood turners in the UK, Mark, the gentleman wood turner, he is selling Hampshire Sheen products now.
Good, good.
And Mike was asking about the Zinsser sealer. I've used it, and I agree it works well. And I agree it's expensive.
Yeah. And the difference being Zinsser is shellac, where the Deft is lacquer. So that's your big difference. Just which would you rather have, lacquer or shellac? And then there are the polyurethane sealers as well, both oil base and water base. If you want to go water base, so there's
Yeah, a warning.
A lot of these sealer lacquers you can actually buy from automotive shops as well.
that's true too. Yes.
And a warning I'll give you is don't have too many different ones because if you have to redo a piece, it's harder than heck to figure out which one you had on it originally.
That's a fact. Unless you keep a journal of those things. Some people do. Some people journal all their work so they know exactly what they've got and they can come back later and fix a finish if they need to. I knew one guy, he always turned with a recess because a recess could stay there and he could always put it back on the lathe and he guaranteed his finishes forever.
That's no, I didn't do it for that reason.
Right.
But I
Right.
always turn with a recess. Now,
Hmm.
I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have got 5 fairly big platters sitting on the sideboard over there. They are all turned with a recess, so I can go back and remount them and
Yeah.
do something different with them if I'm not happy with what I've already done.
Right. Right. Yeah. My big 20-inch I did with a recess. Sure did. Just because. Just because. I'm doing more with recesses now. Um, and when I remember to start with on the front side, drilling that beginner hole just for a starter spot, it's a lot easier to do than when I start between centers. So anyway,
And
there you
and,
have it, folks. Yeah,
and
go ahead.
some of us call those mortises.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
mortise recess. Yeah,
Okay, a lot of people understand mortises. When it comes to tenons, there are that many people out there in the wood turning world. Granted, a lot of them might be beginners, but they put them in as tenants
yes,
and various other terminology that some people just say, "Oh God, what the hell are they talking about?" Now,
yeah, yeah.
Granted, they may well be new, and I'm not going to rip them apart from that for that. People have their own preferences. I know
Yeah.
Mark predominantly uses a tenon when he's
Mhm.
turning bulls. I predominantly use a mortise when I'm turning bulls, and we both have our own different reasons for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Um,
I
but
prefer a tenon unless it's a very shallow platter or a ball.
Mm-hmm.
but the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, if it works for you, it works for you.
Sure.
Agreed.
All right. Yes. Yeah. T tenets, tendons.
Yeah,
Um, I was
There's
watching
no,
one guy.
there's no, just leave the D out.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
tenon.
There.
right. Now,
I was.
Zed has said very sensible here. He likes to use a mortise, but not with end grain.
Oh,
I would totally
absolutely.
agree with that. You
Yeah.
never
Absolutely.
use
Yeah.
a mortise with end
It
grain.
it won't work. It won't work.
No.
All right. Well, it's been an hour now. This is just a matter of letting this dry for a while and putting follow-up coats on it. I'll put 3, maybe 4 coats of lacquer on. I'll knock it back very lightly, and then I'll put 1 or maybe 2 more coats just to flatten it out, finish it out, and that'll be the name of that. And that'll go on my shelf there at the store. In fact, let me switch over here so you can see what it looks like at this moment. There we go. It doesn't look not too shabby. It'll be a fun one. People say, "How did you do it with that big gap in there?" Well,
It looks
it's
good.
always fun. It's always fun. But that one will not go to this lady for a salad bowl. As much as I'd like to let her have that one, but I'll turn
Now,
her 8 more.
Zed
She wants 8.
Zed has said it's 118 minutes to the redemption platter, and I've just put the link back in again.
All right. All right. Very good. Very good. There's Billy Burt. I see you. Hiya, Billy.
Hi,
Hi,
Billy.
Billy.
All right. And you said Copperal earlier, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah,
Rob.
Rob came
Yeah.
in earlier.
Okay. All right. And Malcolm. Well, good to see everybody. I'm going to have to go back through the chat. Between having the drill going and the dust collector going, I couldn't hear there for a while. I know y'all weren't hearing much of that, but I sure was hearing both of them. So I'll go back through the chat and see what all of you guys said. So you better
Now,
be nice.
Zed has said, and the gauntlet is thrown down to Doug to fix his last mistake.
Yes, I'm going to fix Zed's last mistake. It's on the way. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure if I'll do it as a live or if I'll do it as a video, but it will be seen. So it'll be good. It'll be good. My only issue is Zed was holding this thing. It's an odd shape. It's not round, which I've never heard of Zed doing that before, much. Uh, so and he was holding it in his cold jaws with his jaws, every which way, just to hold that thing. I'm gonna have to find a way to hold it. I think I've got a way to do it in my head. I'll have to see when it gets here. But to hold it and then fill the hole, fix the mistake. We'll say it that way. Um, that's going to be fun. But I'm pretty sure it's doable. I've got in my head it is.
That's what counts.
There you go.
Yeah,
Oh, I just realized.
Billy's just said that his dust collector quit yesterday, and
Oh
I
dear.
saw it, Billy.
he's hoping it's just a starter capacitor.
Yeah, yeah. I hope that's all it is. Um, I'm assuming you did check the power, make sure you had power at the receptacle. Um, I've
Yes,
had that happen to me
if you
before,
blow a fuse, that can mess it up.
or just the receptacle go bad.
Yep.
I've had that happen where the breaker was fine. It was the receptacle itself. You wouldn't think there's nothing there to go bad, but they do apparently. I've had them do it. So yes, he has power. Okay, all right. I hope it is just the capacitor, and if you can find one. Sometimes those things can be hard to find too. All righty. It's been good. It's been a lot of fun, and I think this bowl is going to be really nice once I get a couple more coats of lacquer on it. And so it's been good to have everybody. and we'll come back next week. I've got something planned. I'm not sure what it is just now. I had something else planned for today and decided, no, let's get started on this commission job. Those commissions got to get done, and these bowls have got to be done before Thanksgiving, which is 3 weeks. 3 weeks and 2 days.
And my
So
apologies, because I won't be here for the next couple weeks.
that's okay. We understand. And even
I
if
will.
nobody can come, okay, Wayne will be here. If nobody could, we would trudge on anyway. It'd just be a little tougher. But you guys keep the conversation going very nicely, and I do appreciate it. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. Ruby, Wayne, thank you guys for coming along. And for all of you, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Night, everyone. Oh, night, everyone.